In the shadows of the Amazon rainforest, in a time lost to whispered memory, there was said to be a village, a town called Hoer Verde. Then, one morning, it vanished. No bodies. No signs of struggle. No explanation. All that remained? Silence. They found a blackboard message. There is no salvation. What happened to those 600 souls? Was this a miracle, a curse, or a story told so many times that it became truth? Tonight, we journey into the mist, into the legend of Hoer Verde. Brazil, 1923. The Amazon stretches endlessly, a green labyrinth filled with life, danger, and mystery. Deep in the forest, a small settlement, remote, isolated, was said to be home to 600 men, women, and children. They farmed. They traded. They lived quietly, insulated from the world beyond. Then one day, when neighbors expected the usual shipments, the supplies never came. Concerned visitors ventured inward. What they found would become a haunting whisper, a place empty as a tomb. They entered a village frozen in time. Doors open, windows ajar, meals left half-eaten on tables. No footprints, no voices, no echoes, as if everyone simply drifted away. According to the legend, and here is where fact and fiction blur, a group of traders or neighbors, worried over missing goods, arrived at the settlement on February 5, 1923. They found the town eerily still. One by one, they explored homes. Children's toys lying untouched. Clothes on beds. Cooking pots cooling on stoves. In the village school, they came upon two chilling clues. A single pistol and a blackboard inscription, "There is no salvation." No blood. No signs of forced entry. No bodies. No graves. And none of the residents ever came back, at least in any record that's verifiable. The entire village vanished. Over time, versions of the story multiplied. Each retelling added a wrinkle. Some say the message was written in Portuguese. Some argue it was English. Some even claim Latin. Some sources say the gun was freshly fired. Others claim it had been sitting there for days. Some say the villagers disappeared at dusk. Others insist it was overnight. Some call it the modern Roanoke of Brazil. But it doesn't end there. Some voices whisper supernatural force. Spirits of the rainforest. Others claim government experiments. Aliens. Cults. Dimensional rifts. And yet, amid all this swirling rumor, there remains one hard fact. No reliable historical record has confirmed that a place named Hoer Verde ever existed. What we have here is as much a myth in motion as it is a mystery. Let's walk through the most popular theories, from the plausible to the bizarre, and weigh them against what little evidence survives. Brazil in the early 1920s was not immune to unrest. Political factions, regional rebellions, tension between coffee oligarchs and rural communities, all brewed beneath the surface. It's possible, some argue, that the villagers were forcibly moved, either by guerrillas, soldiers, or local militias. Perhaps they fled, left their goods behind in haste, hoping to return. But then, why no record in neighboring towns of absorbing 600 lost people? Why no survivors? No mention in census documents, no migration records. And importantly, 1923 was not a year of large-scale unrest in Brazil. Major rebellions are documented in 1922, 1924, and later in 1930. This void in the timeline makes this theory shaky. Another theory leans into the uncanny. What if something beyond our laws intervened? Spirits of the jungle. forest curses. Ancient entities awakened. Some claim that the inscription, "There is no salvation," echoes religious doom or prophecy. Yet supernatural explanations tend to expand to fill gaps. They don't stand on evidence, they swallow it. This is where the story dips fully into speculation. Aliens swoop in, abduct an entire village. Or perhaps a rift in space-time, a doorway to another dimension, a pocket reality swallowing 600 lives. These ideas make for excellent horror, but in the realm of credible theorizing, they lack anchors. No cosmic debris. No extraterrestrial signatures. No corroboration from neighboring settlements. These remain, for now, flights of fancy. The most compelling theory, grounded in logic, is this: Hoer Verde never existed. The entire story may have been birthed in misreporting, imagination, or tabloid fiction, then spread, mutated, and urban legendized. Consider these red flags. The name Hoer Verde doesn't make sense in Portuguese. Verde means green, yes. But Hoer is not a Portuguese root. Some argue it's a Dutch word. But why would a Brazilian village be named with a Dutch word meaning? Or in modern Dutch? No mention in Brazilian census records. No archival trace. No cartographic evidence. Most early sources lead back to a Russian tabloid article published in 2004 on Pravda Online, recounting the disappearance and blackboard message. Further digging reveals that the story closely mirrors a passage in Dean Koontz's 1983 novel Phantoms, which mentions Joia Verde, a jungle settlement disappearing in 1923, with eerie parallels but different phrasing. In Phantoms, Koontz's anecdote lists Joia Verde as one among many vanishings, Joia Verde, green jewel, in the Amazon. Over time, translation, mismemoration, and storytelling likely morphed Joia Verde and Joia Verde into Hoer Verde. The conclusion: the villagers never disappeared because they never existed. Let's peel back the layers of myth and try to trace the origin of the legend itself. In 2004, a Russian-language article published online mentioned 600 inhabitants missing from a settlement called Hoer Verde, discovered by police, a gun left behind, and the cryptic chalkboard message. That appears to be a central pivot point for later retellings. But no original version of that article has ever been reliably sourced. No primary archives. No historical newspapers. Meanwhile, in Phantoms, Koontz's tale mentions Joia Verde, a jungle settlement vanishing around 1923. The name, the time frame, the eerie message, these match closely. It is plausible Joia Verde or Joia Verde was the seed from which modern Hoer Verde sprouted, through mistranslation and storytelling. One theory suggests a translation chain, Joia Verde, Hoer Verde, passed through Russian retellings, then back to English, mangled by transliteration. Thus, the legend grows, decoupled from geography, detached from historical anchors. As one mystery writer put it, the residents of Hoer Verde never disappeared because they never existed. This is not cynicism, it's Occam's razor. When no empirical evidence supports existence, the myth is more likely fiction than fact. But here's the thing, myths like Hoer Verde persist for a reason. They live not in archives, but in imagination. They survive because they captivate us. They echo fears of disappearing, of isolation, of being lost beyond help. Hoer Verde, whether real or not, has become a story that feels real. And when a legend feels credible, it draws believers, skeptics, and storytellers alike. So tonight, we may never know what truly happened to those 600 souls, or if they ever existed at all. We walk away not with answers, but with questions. Was this a cautionary fable? A horror tale dressed as fact? Or a half-forgotten echo of a story once told, reshaped, and reborn? The truth behind Hoer Verde remains uncertain, buried somewhere between fact and folklore. But mysteries like this aren't rare, either just forgotten. If you're drawn to stories where evidence fades but questions linger, like, comment, and subscribe to Haunting Cold Cases, where every mystery has a shadow, and every shadow tells a story. Turn on the notification bell, because the next case might lead us somewhere even darker. And if there's a cold case or haunting mystery you'd like us to uncover next, leave it in the comments below. Your suggestion might become our next investigation.